Thanks for visiting the patient and the weather today. I'm meteorologist Al Peterlin. I'd like to talk about the weather health stress for May 1st, 2026. We do keep additional graphics available at tpatw.com. We do maintain the storefront on Amazon. Looking at the surface map for Friday, May 1st, you can see that high pressure is dominating most of the country. There is that little bit of a cold front trying to push again into the Pacific Northwest, and the cold front that went through much of the east on Thursday is hanging off the coast, cutting back south in through basically Jacksonville over to New Orleans and still hanging back in San Antonio. That'll keep a swath of activity across the south, and there is a little bit of a bubble low sitting here in Colorado that will be triggering some snow in higher elevations. Looking at our vitality index, or our composite image of where we think there will be weather health stresses, and you can see that we're struggling with some activity here in New Mexico across South Texas. There is still that activity going on along the Gulf, and a little bit of something trying to make its way into northeastern Montana. Looking at pressure change, rising pressure in eastern New Mexico and West Texas, and then a little bit of rising pressure still lingering right along the coast from Virginia up through Maryland, grabbing onto a portion of Delaware, New Jersey, and trying to push into the easternmost sections of Massachusetts. Looking at temperature change, very interesting. Cooler temperatures here along the Gulf, and that's with all of the cloud cover and the storms. But note that we're increasing and warming temperatures here across Colorado into Kansas and across the northern plains from Montana into North Dakota. Looking at the change in dew point temperatures, you'll see that we are in fact having a change in dew point temperatures here along the south, and that is dew point temperatures will finally be falling as this activity moves to the south. But note that we are still picking up some moisture here in southern Florida. Looking at instability, and this is a very beneficial change, finally stopping some of that instability through the heart of the country, but it still lingers a bit here in South Texas and right along the Gulf with storminess there, and that's pretty typical for this time of year. Looking at the change in oxygen availability, you can see that we have some migraine stress here in the Pacific Northwest, but really coastal. We have a lot of migraine stress from New Mexico, across Texas, all across the southern states, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, into Georgia. We do have a little bit of migraine risk here in Indiana, and then a migraine risk right along coastal Maryland and coastal Virginia into coastal Delaware, and then picking up a migraine risk again here in Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. The only area of asthma and arthritis stress is here in the northern plains, Montana into North Dakota, and some stretching down into Wyoming and Colorado. Thanks for visiting the patient and the weather today. Your comments are appreciated, and if you hurt, let us know where you're